Rack studs! Rack studs, okay? These are, and I'm not exaggerating, the greatest thing since sliced bread, okay? If you've ever worked with traditional rack nuts and bolts, putting a rack together and configuring it where you have to constantly move things around and all the rest of it, and these, by comparison, is, oh my God, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. So, a history lesson for noobs now. In ye olden days, you had to work with these. This is a captive cage nut. And if you look at one not in the rack, you can see it's basically just a square nut in a little sort of metal cage with two wings. And the wings push through the rack from behind and then snap out either side and grip the thing in place like that. Then you get a traditional bolt with a plastic washer, and that screws in. That screws in like that, and you tighten with a Phillips head screwdriver, right? And that tightens the rack ear of the piece of equipment into the rack. Now these things are an absolute nightmare to get in and out if you're configuring a rack, and especially if there's already equipment in there and you're working around other equipment, because to get them in and out you have to use a flat-headed screwdriver blade like this. You have to put the blade in like that and then angle it round and sort of try and snap that out from behind the rack. Hook like that. Yeah, and then to put it back you've got to put that one wing in first and then bring the blade of the screwdriver round and try and push the other wing into the rack like that. And it's really, really fiddly and difficult, and what happens is you're pushing on the blade and it constantly slips and you stab yourself in the finger or stab yourself in the thumb and there's blood everywhere. These things are just a nightmare to work with. The rack stud, by comparison, is an absolute joy to work with, right? Look, I'll just take this plastic protective sort of washer thing off. There it is. And all you do is you push on the side of the clip, angle it out like that, out it comes. Put it back, push, in it goes. Yeah? Solid. Like that. All it is it's like a clip like that, and this little spring thing like that, yeah? And that just goes into the slot, push, and in it goes. And then to get it out, you just push on the side of that wing, angle it round, and out it comes. In, out. It's so easy. And that's how you do it, always sideways, so that the spring mechanism is horizontal to the height of the rack, to the vertical rack. You do not do it, as some people on YouTube have shown, this way round or this way round, where the spring mechanism itself is being compromised by the fact that pressure is being applied on it in a vertical position, which can, you know, makes it not as strong. This way, in it goes, clip it in, then you put this little yellow sort of plastic washer thing on, like that, and that actually protects the back of the rack here from ever touching the metal surface of the rack. Then you get this really large, easy to tighten with your fingers or untighten with your fingers plastic cap. That goes over, and you just tighten up like that. And these things are so big and easy to grip that you don't need a screwdriver, but the Mark II version that I've got here of these rack studs, they have now included a Phillips head screwdriver tightener there if you need it. Why you need it, I don't know, because you can adequately tighten these up as tight as you possibly need by finger because they're so big. Right, these things are just incredible, incredible. Okay, let me show you some other stuff. So I've already shown you how easy it is to fit or detach the rack studs from a rack. Down here is a supernova in the rack. Look how easy it is to undo or to do up these caps. Just give it a twist, spin it, it's off. Put it back on, spin it, fully tight. Okay, let me show you this now. The new Mark II rack studs stick out further, so they're better for hanging things on when you're putting things into the rack. There's a pair of rack studs here, and there are their opposite numbers on the other side of the rack here. Now check this out. This is a Fostex A2 tape machine, and this thing weighs an absolute ton. I'm going to hang it on the top pair of rack studs. Like that. There we go. Now, check this out. There it is, hanging on the top pair of studs. Dude, the amount of weight these can take is ridiculous. It's just bonkers, yeah? Okay. And that's that. Ooh. Okay, so there you go. That's rack studs, and these are literally the best thing since sliced bread. In all my years of building studios and working in studios, they're one of the best products I've ever encountered. and I would urge you to buy them. They're really, really good. And again, I'm not getting any commission, and I don't get paid for this. I purchased these with my own money, but they really are just such a great product.